Hey everybody, happy St. Patrick's Day. It is Lori B. Grungy Girl Journals. I worked on these little pieces of paper all morning and I am trying to finish up a journal that I'm working on now called Sweet Sister. This is my favorite journal I think ever in this style. Probably top 3 that I've made, but it's in this style. It's just my favorite. Has a lot of meaning behind it too, and not a lot, but I mean it's got some meaning behind it. And when I do the flip through in the next couple of days, I will tell you what that is. Now I want you to excuse the fact that I have um, a lozenge in my mouth. I have had this consistent cough, and I know several of you do. It's just an allergy cough, and I can feel it coming on now, and I'm going to try really hard not to do it. But today it's a little better than it has been, and it keeps me from filming because who wants to listen to me hack the whole time? So it's not anything. It's just it's just annoying. I had to postpone a MRI that I'm having done, a yearly MRI on my kidney, because I was coughing too much and I could not lay still. So that has absolutely nothing to do with anything. Just shows you how much is in my brain. And that would be basically nothing. But I can talk about some paper. And I decided that I was going to reveal a few of my secrets. I know you're so excited. Really, they're not secrets. I'm sure other people use these methods. This is what I have come up for my style. I like things to be very, am I yelling? Sorry. I like things to be very aged and imperfect. I spend a lot of time. I do spend a lot of time getting the papers ready for using. Look at my hands. I'm like, try not to do that. I spend a lot of time preparing my papers just to use them. And that includes finding the digitals, printing them. Sometimes I edit them, change the colors with I use PicMonkey, PIC Monkey. It is a website, and they do have a premium and a free section. So I have the premium, so I'm able to tint my photos pretty much the way I want them. And I'm still learning, and I was able to get all the ones for Sweet Sister tinted the blue that I wanted to go for. Turned out really pretty, but I digress. I'm here about this paper. I do spend a lot of time with it, and like I said, that includes, am I going to have to start this over? Good Lord. No, I'm not going to. I'm just going to keep on going on. That includes finding, printing, editing, tearing, inking, and then one of the things I'm going to show you that I do extra, and I would like to put a little disclaimer in right now. If you have arthritic hands, which I do, and especially in my knuckles, especially these two, and then these two, this is hard on your hands, and there's only certain times I can do it, and I'm usually kind of sore the next day and hurting the next day, but it's so worth it. And this is what I'm talking about. I'm going to show you how I'm going to decorate the rest of this page over flippy page topper insert that I did yesterday. And I'm just gonna, I haven't quite finished it up yet. Sorry about the glare. I haven't quite finished it up. I just need to, I do want to finish it off. So that's what I'm going to be doing today, kind of. I mean, I am, but I'm not going to, I'm just going to show you how I do it. So that is that. And really, this is just, these are my flowers. My son gave me a bouquet, and it's been the never-ending bouquet. I need to find something else to put those in. I didn't have any blue, though, and I really wanted to put blue in there, but it's okay. It doesn't all have to be matchy-matchy. So I put a yellow one. And literally all this is some cardstock, a few digitals, a book page out of a French book, my dried flowers. These are digitals, just scraps. This is a scrap of my mother's lace. It's another digital scrap up there, and then the thread that I used is isn't that cute? The thread I used is this, which came just in a lot of different ribbons and things like that. It was already in a ball. I have no idea what this stuff is called. I need to get some more when I run out. I love this. I think I have a little bit of another ball left somewhere, but I used up every single little piece of it. So that's what I've been using. I double it up, and that's how I do my doodle stitching. And I don't always use that, but I have been lately. So that's what I did. You can see on back. And when I'm done, I usually use some type of glue to very, very lightly seal those stitches in. It won't show, and it would be okay if it did show. But I just I have a little something that I want to cover it up with. So here's my papers. And I'm going to show you how I distress my papers. And this will give you a big clue. If I'm watching TV and I'm, just sitting around and not really doing anything, I don't like doing that. I don't like just doing nothing. So I'll pick up some papers that I've already excuse me, already printed out and already tea stained. Oh, that's another thing, tea staining. I tea stain pretty much everything, although I do see a paper here that I didn't tea stain. This is parchment paper. It's okay though, I can just ink it up. These are just, in my stash that have already been printed. They're just different things. And all I do is start rolling. And sorry if this is loud. I am pretty close to the microphone. But this is what I do. Yeah, my hands are hurting a little bit. And you'll see it catches on the edges. And I try to trim my printouts before I do this because I want that yumminess to stay on there. I don't want to have to cut it off after I'm finished. So I think there might be one in here that I didn't cut the, where is it? Yeah, like this one. This is the one that wasn't tea stained. And I should have torn that edge off, but I didn't. I have different kinds of paper in here. I think this was packing material. Digitals. This is cardstock. This is when I first started doing junk journals about 3 years ago. And I did this on a inkjet printer instead of, I finally got a laser a couple of years ago, printer. And I didn't know any better, and I put the inkjet printed paper in the water, and it ran, but it's really pretty. And I've always kept this piece of paper, and I haven't used it yet. But I just put that in there to see how it looked when I softened it. So, okay, I roll it up this way. And while I'm watching TV, I'm gripping and just kind of punishing it. I might bang on the edges a little bit. Keep twisting, and I'm tightening. And of course, everything is going to be in a roll. And what I do is do it this way. And I'm doing it vertically, and I do the same thing. So y'all, this is it. This is the big secret. And there's a couple of extra little things I do too, and I'll show you that. So this is it. Sometimes I move the papers around, you know, just because they're different sizes, and I want them to all get affected in different ways. So you can do it, you know, diagonally. So I will do it much more than this, but I'm not going to do it on camera. And you know, you can flatten them back out. And I have a question for everybody. When I do this, I think a lot about texture. I love texture, and you know, there's different ways that you can feel texture. You can touch it, you can hear it, you can hear texture, and you can, did I say feel it? You can feel it, hear it, touch it. Wait a minute, feel and touch is the same thing. So you can feel, touch, and see. That's it. You can see it. And I, you know, had this little dialogue with myself, like what would be the, if I had to choose just one, although, you know, all three are very important, and I'm sure everybody feels that way. But if you could only, in your paper crafting, what is the one that would be most important to you? Would it be the being able to feel the texture? Would it be being able to hear the texture? Or would it be seeing the texture? And I don't think I have yet come up with my answer. I think hearing is, that's, you know, it's nice to hear a crinkle. I love a good crinkle. I don't think I would put that at the top of my list though. So it would come between feeling and seeing. And I'm still not sure. But one thing you can do, and this is what I try to do, is you can feel the texture by looking at it. Does that make any sense? You may not be able to physically hold this piece of paper, but I hope that my books and, you know, all the little things I do, you can see the texture. And maybe you can even hear it a little bit. That would be exciting, to hear it and not actually be there. So tell me what you think, and what order would you put it in? I think I would have to put seeing the texture first, because you really can, other emotions come into it when you look at it. You know, you can feel it and you can maybe hear it. And then it would be feeling it, because I also love the softness. I like soft paper. I like grip paper. I like different types of paper: parchment, cardstock, regular copy paper, different, different types of copy paper, all different kinds of paper. Or would you rather is it more important to be able to hear it when you open up a book? Do you like to hear it? Do you like to hear the crispness of the paper? So I'm just curious about that and what everybody would say. So really that is how I start to age my papers. And usually I will try to do my tearing, my initial tearing and the inking before I do this. Or you can do it after, it doesn't really matter. My next secret revealed is baby wipes. My husband thinks I use so many of these, and I don't. I usually get out maybe 3 during the course of a day. So I'll re-wet them with water, and I will use them again. And then if they, when they start getting to that point, I'll throw it away. But doesn't really matter what kind you use. These just happen to be an exfoliating, which have little bumps on it. I also use these for my face, so they're just particular. This is particular to me. I like these, but you can use any. And this, you probably need a hair dryer or a craft dryer, or something like that if you don't want to wait around for the paper to dry. But I usually get the edges, and you can do this by not wetting it. You don't have to wet it, but it has a bit of a different look to it when you wet the edges. It's going to be a little more distressed looking. It's going to take some of the ink off. And also, when I want to tear a piece off, and I don't use scissors a lot. I have a tendency to just fold and tear. But you can get a good effect doing this too. Just run that wet wipe over the paper. And you see where it's soaked in. Then you tear it off. And you have your torn edge. And to me, it really does. It looks a little differently than just tearing the page. It's a little more fibrous. And then I would usually just, you can play with this a little bit. This paper is a little fragile. Probably left it in the tea a little too long, so, which is okay. But I would probably do a little bit of folding, a little bit of scrunching on all those edges, and then I would dry it, either air dry or usually with my craft tool. Or you can just tear that off, and it's going to go wherever the water is. Kind of like, we do with tissue paper. So that is it. This is the main ink that I use is the Vintage Photo, not the oxidized, just because it kind of turns a yellowy color when it gets wet. So that is how I do that. And thought I would show you what I was working on this morning. And I've seen some girls that just whip these collages up just in a matter of minutes, and I'm always in awe of that because I can't do it. I just can't do it. This took me all morning. And I just finished doing all those tags for the journal as well, and those took me days. I can't whip stuff up. I just can't. I think too much. I audition everything, and I have way too many scraps. So, I'm always looking for that better thing, that better scrap, and but I did manage to, I wanted to get everything kind of put together just to show you what I was doing with this. And I know I'm all over the place. I'm really sorry. I don't do tutorials, and this is why, because I am all over the place. And there are days when I don't want to talk at all, which is most days, and then there's days when I don't mind talking. It's okay, I can talk today. And today's one of those days, except for the coughing, but I'm doing pretty good. Okay, so what I did this morning was I wanted to find something. Oh, let me show you. This is the book, and it has been spoken for. I don't even have it together here. This is the outer wrap, which I did a little short video on. If you want to see that, I think it's the previous video to this one. And then here is the book. I love this linen. I added the lace to it, and I'm going to do a flip through of this, so I'm not really going to open it or anything like that. So that's the book, and like I said, this one is spoken for, but I'm still filling it up with a few things. So let me show you how this is used, or how I use it. So it can go two ways, and let me go ahead and find that page. Don't peek, because I'm going to do a flip through. No peeking. Let me find that page. Stop looking. I know you are. Okay, where are you? Is this it? Okay, here it is. So my first idea was to just have something, and I already put the lace in, the scrap of lace, and I thought instead of it going over the top of the page, it can just go on a page, and it can just slip right in there. And there you go. It's gonna stay. So that was the idea, and I may still do this. I'm not sure yet. But then I thought, you know, I can finish the back of it and the middle and whatever, and I can put it over the page. And I guess I could leave it like this. I mean, it's no big deal. I ink up the edges. I could put it over the page like that. And that way, when you close the book, you can see the cute little ruffle. Can you see it? Oof. You can see the ruffle. So I think that's what I'm going to do is do an over the page. So in order to do that, I want to decorate this side, which will show over here. So you're getting a twofer. And I started collecting the papers together and working with them this morning. And I have kind of tack glued with Uhu some pieces, just so I wouldn't forget, and so it wouldn't take me so long to show you. Otherwise, this would be 3 hours long. This is just scraps of paper from my stash. There's some inky, maybe that's tracing paper. I don't even know. A butterfly, just little pieces of paper. And I just pretty much played with them until I had a little composition going that I liked, and I wanted it simple, and I did not want it to be bulky because the book's almost done, and you know, the other side of this is you know, it sticks up a little bit, so I didn't want like a huge blob in the middle. of the book. So I wanted for it to be pretty, this to be pretty flat. And another thing I like is I don't like the pages to be glued all the way down. I'll use the Yoo-hoo to tack down while I'm doing this video, and then once I'm done, I'll go back with some just regular art glitter glue, or I use Linco book glue, which is basically the same thing as all glitter glue, but it's a lot cheaper. You get a big bottle of it. I'll probably go back and make it permanent after this video. So I don't think that goes there. Yeah, this goes like this. And I'm going to work on the back, and I have to be careful because I don't want that to break through the what's wrong with my light here? I don't want it to break through and tear it. I'm adjusting my light. Sorry if it's dark. I'm going to do this side, and this is very simple. This is a piece of cardstock. You can see that I did this first. I did this piece first on a page, on a book page, and then when I was done, I glued it to a piece of cardstock to hinge it, and all I did was use masking tape. And I also wanted to give that crease some reinforcement because that's where it'll be going over. You know, that's where it'll be hinging. And I put this piece of lace on here because it's got blue on it, and I couldn't find a blue flower, so I wanted to incorporate some amount of blue on this because the book has a lot of blue in it. So this is what I'm gonna do. This goes like this. And like I said, I'm not doing a major gluing right now. And a lot of people, there is a lot of talented ladies, I tell you, in this community that do collaging, and they are so good at it. And there's a lot of videos out there. You just have to look for them. And they would do a much better job than me teaching you how to do this. I assure you. That goes on. And, you know, I'll crinkle it up, and I might even do a little sewing like this on the back side. I'm not sure. It really just depends on how thick it is when I'm done. I've already tack glued some of these together. They're kind of little bits and pieces, just so it wouldn't be so fumbly. That there. And you know, I was taught, I didn't go to art school or anything, but when I took art classes in high school, I was taught about composition and balancing and shading and all that good stuff, and I was always fascinated by that, and I always got it. I mean, I knew exactly what they were talking about, and it's something that just kind of instinctually happens when I do art. And a lot of people are that way, and then some have to work at it a little harder. I'm somewhere in between, but I do think about composition and, you know, just kind of getting it balanced, but not really. It's not really balanced. It's not perfect, but somehow it just kind of works. It ends up looking balanced when I'm done, and if it doesn't, then I'll just add something more if I think it needs it. So these are all just tacked on, and then I'm going to do the whole thing on the back. And I love this glue, by the way. I really don't have to use much more of the other glue. And like I said, I wanted to keep this pretty simple. And that's it. That's how I do's it. Try not to press too hard because of those flowers. But I'll go back in with the line coat glue, and I'll get all these a little more glued down. And that is that page. Honestly, I might maybe put a label right there of some or other, a date or numbers or an address or something like that. I'm not sure. That is it. So when you turn that page, when you look at that page, you're not looking at cardstock. You've got a nice little picture there. But it also has an inside. So what I thought I would do is, it can be a little place used for journaling. Do a little writing on it. So I'm just going to tear that. And that's going to go there. I'll ink around the edges. That's going to go there. And then just to kind of pretty it off, although you don't have to, is I'm going to use this piece right here. And it just kind of finishes it for me. And that's it. That is all, folks. So I hope this isn't too boring. I got minimum coughs in, which is good. I didn't talk too terribly much. I didn't ramble too terribly much. So I guess it's a good day. I hope you like it. Please leave me a comment. I love to hear from you all. And let me know about that texture thing. What do you think? What order would you put that in, and which is the most important to you? And do you like it? Do you like my thingy here? And my next video will probably be the flip through of Sweet Sister, and that will be in the next couple of days. So everybody enjoy your St. Patty's Day, and I will see you next time. Bye.